Hello guys, hope you're keeping well and safe. So, you want to marry a Filipina. Filipina is the name of a woman from the Philippines, rather than Filipino, which is a general term. We need to consider first of all is why. Why do you want to marry a Filipino woman, a Filipina? Now, if it's because you want someone who's going to do as she's told, be like a housekeeper, a slave, she's going to follow you around, be a dog's body, do what she's told, then don't. Just get yourself a dog or something. This is a woman, human being, and you treat her exactly the same way as you would an English, British or American wife. Okay? Now, when you meet a Filipino woman, you have to give 100% commitment, okay? But how do you meet a Filipino? Well, there's lots of different websites out there, dating sites. Now, you might think, well, meeting someone online, it's a bit sad. I can't get a woman properly. But the fact is, more people meet online than any other way. And I'm not talking about people looking for Filipinas, but I just mean people in general, everywhere. There's a report I read recently that in Australia, most people meet online. Because, it can be quite difficult to meet somebody in general public, really. Unless you already know them. I mean, you can approach a woman with all the best intentions, but you can get accused of being harassing and all that sort of stuff. But at least on a website, you're both there for the same reason. You know you're going to meet someone, you're going to you're going to talk to someone, suggest that you meet up, all that sort of stuff. So that's the safest way to meet. And obviously, if you know someone who's already got a Filipino wife, then they could introduce you to a member of their family or friends, and that'll be another way of meeting a potential wife. Now, there is this misconception, myth, whatever you call it, that you buy your Filipino wife. I mean, there will be comments, and I've had them. Is when you're with your younger wife, Asian wife, whether she's Filipina or from Thailand or whatever, people will say, well, how much she cost? A bit racist, not very pleasant, but it's absolute rubbish. You do not buy your Filipino wife. You do not lay down a certain amount of money and say, I want that one. Send her over. It's not like that at all. It's not like buying a car or buying anything else. It's exactly the same as it would be if you was meeting someone in the UK. You meet online, you chat for a period of time, you agree to meet, so on, so on. Now, when you meet a Philippine woman online, there's lots of dating sites, you'll find them on Google. There's, for example, Filipino Datings, Filipino Cupid, other sites. You register and you'll be presented with loads and loads of profiles. See someone you like, you send them a message. Obviously, that person can then see your profile. Maybe they'll reply to you, maybe they won't. It's entirely up to them. And if they do, you can chat for a period of time. You get to know each other and to see if you're like-minded. See if you perhaps want to take that further. Now, if you do want to take it further, then you really need to go to the Philippines and meet her. But you have to be respectful. You don't not go in there to the Philippines to meet this girl just for sex. That is absolutely not on. You just go in there to meet her, to get to know her, to understand her, perhaps meet her family maybe, and decide whether you want to continue, take that further than that. Okay. So if you were to meet somebody, which I did, what we did, we communicated for quite a long time on Uvu, which is like a face-to-face chat sort of page. We messaged each other a lot, messaged each other on Facebook, FaceTime, all these sort of things, which is good because, you know, if you meet a woman in a normal way out in a pub or a club, it's difficult to get that conversation going, isn't it, really? I mean, I write an in-depth conversation apart from general chit-chat. Whereas when you meet someone online, you get the opportunity to ask questions and get to know them much more deeply and quicker than you normally would. So in a lot of ways, it's a good thing. So as I said, after a period of time, a few months, whatever, a couple of years, maybe, whatever, you go to Philippines, you meet the lady, right? At this point, you decide to go further. You want to invite her to the UK for a while. Now, you can invite the lady straight over and get married. But in my opinion, and this is only my opinion, and what I did, me and my wife, my wife came over on a visit visa and stayed with me for 6 months. So we didn't get married. She came and stayed for 6 months. Then she went back to the Philippines. And then next time she came, we got married. She had to go back to the Philippines and apply to come and stay in the UK, which is a massive amount of paperwork. It is hard work, believe you me. It's not simple. You can pay people to do all the paperwork for you, but some of them are better than others, quite expensive. But we done it ourselves. We went online, and it's not a simple thing. You have to do a lot of research, put in a lot of effort. And to be fair to my wife, Jen, she did put in a lot of effort to get things sorted. So that's terrific. So, if you want to invite your wife your lady, potential wife, fiance, whatever, to the UK to stay, you have to remember this is a lifelong commitment. For example, if you meet a lady in the UK, a little bit down the line, you find you're not getting on after a year, or 6 months, year, 18 months, whatever, you can go your separate ways. She can go back to, I don't know, buying another house or something, being near her family, you two. It's quite simple, really. Whereas you can't do that with a Filipino woman. You just cannot do it. Because if you were to separate, she won't have family here. She's got no family here. She may not even have a job. She'll have nothing. So you have to be 100% certain that it's going to be forever. And if there are difficulties, you work them out. You don't give up. So when you apply for your wife or fiancé, the lady, to come to the UK, you will have to sign a form with the Home Office. And that form says that you will sponsor this lady for the next 5 years. Okay? So you've got to look after her for 5 years, regardless. So if you decide you want rid, tough. You've got to look after her for the next 5 years. You've made a commitment. You've signed that you will sponsor this lady for 5 years. And customs will make sure you do. Okay? So it's not a flippant thing. You have to be absolutely, completely sure this is what you want to do and this is the lady that you want. Okay? Now, in terms of applying for your lady to come to the UK, you can't just bring her here. You have to apply. and the Home Office have to be satisfied that you can afford to look after this lady. Well, bear in mind, the lady, when she comes here, she has no access to any public funds whatsoever. So she can't get housing benefit, unemployment benefit, any benefits whatsoever. So it's all down to you, hence why you signed that form. Now, so in terms of income, you need to be earning in the region of £19,000 a year, okay, as a minimum. That's if you just bring a lady to the UK. If she has children, then that income band would increase. If you are not employed, you can still apply, but you'll have to have savings in excess of £65,000. And also that will rise again if the lady has got children. Okay. Now, on that subject, if the lady has got children, you have to accept that you are taking them on as well. 100%. No half measures. Okay. So the idea that this might be an easy way to get married, an easy way to have a wife, well, it is so far from that. It's unbelievable. It's very, very hard work. Okay. But at the end of the day, a Filipino woman, they're lovely. They're absolutely amazing. Obviously, you do get bad eggs. But on the whole, in general, they are really, really lovely people. Now, when you meet your lady online and you've decided you want to be boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, the subject will come up about money. Do you send her money? Now, that's a difficult question because at the end of the day, she wants to know that you're being genuine and not just playing around. And I guess you do too. So if you send her money, that is a sign that you're prepared to look after her and that you're genuine. However, if you hook up to the wrong lady, she could just be scamming you out your money. She could have a number of guys where she's pretending to be single. She may even already be married, and they'd be sending her money. Okay, it does happen. So the question is, do you send money? In my opinion, just my opinion, I'd say yes. I did, but not very much money. Don't invest a huge amount of money. I mean, there's been people who sent thousands of pounds over to have a house built with the intention of retiring into the Philippines, and the woman is just gone, kept the money, or built a house and just kept it for herself and didn't want to know anything to do with the guy. So you have to be careful. So send some money, yes, it is a sign of commitment, but don't send money you can't afford to lose. Put it that way. Okay, so the next thing is, well, is this woman marrying you for money? Well, the simple answer to that is yes. I'd say yes. If you met a lady in the UK, is she going to want to go out with a guy that's got money or a guy that's skint? Then obviously she'll rather be with the guy with money. And there's, we've all seen these young ladies in the UK, blonde bimbo types normally, but they're with an older guy, and you think, what is she doing with him? Then you realise he's got a big posh car outside, he's got loads of money, you think, that's why. Okay, so when I say they're going to marry you for your money, and I said yes, it's more complicated than that. For example, why would a Filipino want to marry an older English, British, foreign guy? Well, the guys in the Philippines tend to be very reliable, generally. You know, it's not everybody, but they are generally not very reliable. Quite often they don't work. They haven't got anything quite often. And they're just generally unreliable. So your Filipino lady is looking for a guy that is reliable and honest and is going to look after her. So that's why she would marry an older foreign guy, because you're more sensible, you're more grown up, you're wiser, you're more respectful, and you're solid, you're firm. You've got an income. You're okay, well off, I guess, compared to the guys in the Philippines. But on that subject, obviously, you've got to be honest with the lady and not pretend that you've got much more than you really have. I mean, I'm aware of a guy that did just that. He pretended he had a lot more than he really had. The lady come over to the UK, discovered that it was all fake. He had nothing like he said he had. And she left. Not only because he didn't have the money. If he'd been honest, then it would have been okay. But because he lied, he brought her to the UK under false pretenses. He was a liar. He proved himself to be a liar. They don't like it. Okay? Filipino, we're not like a guy that's dishonest. All right? They also don't like guys that are aggressive. It's not their thing. I mean, Filipinos are loving people. They love to party, love karaoke. Their idea of a party is not necessarily the same as ours. We have a party, we might sort of, be dancing around, getting drunk, all that sort of stuff. But for the Filipino, a party is more like, call it a fiesta, sorry. And it's more like a dinner party. Food is an important part of Filipino life and Filipino parties, Filipino fiestas. So they love to dance, they love to laugh, they love to sing, they love karaoke. Okay, so bear in mind, there's going to be a lot of karaoke going on in your house. Okay. Now, when this lady comes to the UK, you have to bear certain things in mind. First of all, you have invited her to come to this country. So she is your responsibility, and it's your responsibility to look after her. Now remember, she's got no family here, no friends, no support network, nothing at all. So her support network is you. Her friend and family is you. Okay? So it's different from having a UK wife. You are, especially in the early stages, you are everything to this lady. So you are her whole life. So you have to be there and stand up and look after this lady. Okay? And help her. I mean, in the Philippines, English language is commonly spoken. However, it tends to be more American English. So when these ladies come to the UK, they have to try and translate some of our accents, which is extremely difficult. Even though they speak English, it's a different sort of English to what we speak. I'm a little bit of a Cockney type guy. So instead of saying thank you, I might just say ta, cheers. We greet someone, you might just say all right. I mean, this is alien language to these people, so you have to understand that. Also, it's totally different culture. So you have to bear in mind they have their own culture, and you have to respect her culture. There are times when she wants to be able to speak her her language, whether it be Tagalog or Waray or whatever. They like to be able to speak their language. I mean, if imagine you went to another country to live and you had the opportunity to speak to a British guy, it'd be amazing for you, wouldn't it? So it'd be the same for the ladies. So don't get fed up. I mean, I've been aware of guys that have, where the lady has spoken with her friends in her language, the guy doesn't understand, and the guy is getting, they're talking about me, what are they saying? Oh, I don't know. Well, grow a pair. Just be more respectful and understand that this lady is going to speak her own language. She's been doing it for years. She's not just forget about it because she's come here for you. Okay? There's also the weather. Now in the Philippines, they basically have 2 seasons. It's hot or hot and wet. That's basically it. Snow is unknown of. They've never seen snow, frost. They get wind, they get typhoons and things, but they don't have cold. So they don't like cold. So you have to remember that you're going to have to put the heating on, even if you feel nice and warm, because you've got to look after her. And you're going to have to buy a lot of clothes, obviously. And understand the fact that if you want to pop out somewhere, you might be wearing like a lightweight jacket, and she will wear a big, thick, woolly jacket, hat, gloves, because she's grown up in this really, really hot country. So, yeah, be respectful, and be very mindful about this lady. Because at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to make sure she's okay. It's not her responsibility to make sure she's okay. It's yours. You invited her here. Okay? Now, a lot of guys decide they might want to move to the Philippines. It's a lovely country. It's a poor country. It's a lovely country. Some areas which are absolutely stunning. Most beautiful places in the world, to be honest with you. But there is a lot of poverty. Chickens everywhere. You'll go, everywhere you go, you're going to hear chickens, cockerels, cockadoodling all the time. Okay? And the way they treat sort of animals is different to the way we treat animals. For example, a dog, some people will have a dog as a pet, and then, like we would all lovey-dovey. But a lot of people have a dog, it's mostly a guard dog. It's a working dog, guard dog. It's not really a pet in the same way we would have a pet. So you have to bear that in mind. And, bear in mind that sometimes these people have absolutely nothing, not even food. So, they will eat dogs. It's illegal to eat dogs over there. Very few people do it. But in some areas where people are absolutely brassic and have no food whatsoever, they will eat a dog. They will eat a cat. Because it's either that or survive or not survive. Okay, so it's a very different culture. Okay? Respect is a massive thing. Respect for family is a massive thing, especially your elders. So when you meet the family, you have to be very, very respectful, especially of the mother and father, obviously. But it's no good walking in there pretending you're like some big shot. Yeah, I'm rich. Yeah, I've got more than you. Yeah, or start being aggressive around people because they won't put up with it. They will not put up with it. And if you're out and about in the town or cities or something, you'll get shot. If you start giving it the big potatoes, or a big man, start throwing your weight around, if you do it to the wrong person, mate, you'll get shot. Okay? So you have to be completely, you have to be a decent human being, basically. That's what it's all about. Okay? So, I'd say good luck. If you are intending to meet a Filipina, good luck. Be careful. be honest, and if it all works out for you, then it will be the best thing you've ever done. So for me, I've now been with my wife 5 years. We've been married for 4. It's the best thing that happened to me ever. Absolutely amazing. We share everything. I mean, we bought a house. I didn't buy the house. It's not my house. We bought the house together. My wife's working, so we bought the house together. So it's equally our house, which is how it should be. We share everything. I cook for her quite a lot. For example, today is my day off from work. I'm not at work today, but she is. So tonight I will cook dinner for her. You know, it's no big deal. It's just sensible thing to do, isn't it? You know, at the end of the day, you love this woman, and if you don't love this woman, or you're not prepared to love the woman, then don't go down this road. You know, if you want to stay single, or the benefits of being single, don't get married. Just stay single. All right. So thank you very much for listening. I hope you all take care and listen to our page. Perhaps if you would subscribe, that would be amazing. And share the page. I'll be doing some more videos about Filipino life and that sort of thing. So, brilliant. So I want to mention over my shoulder, by the way, before I go, those photographs there, those are of one of my trips to the Philippines. It is a beautiful country. So, my wife comes from the provinces, not city in the provinces, a bit like the countryside here. And, you know, it's a much slower pace of life. Much slower pace of life and lower pace of life. But slower pace of life, and it is lovely, really lovely. But like everything else, you have to work at it. Okay? Well, thank you very much then, and you all take care. And I'll speak to you again soon. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much. You all take care of yourselves. Bye.